You know the type, right? Well, everyone else is busy planning their birthday month like it's a national holiday. This one person just treats the anniversary of their own existence like any other Tuesday. Their friends think it's kind of weird, their family thinks they're just being difficult, but what if it's not weird at all? What if their brain is actually, protecting them from something? Okay, let's get into it.
We're about to crack this fascinating psychological puzzle wide open. Because I'm telling you, beneath the surface of that casual, oh, it's no big deal, there are some incredibly deep reasons at play. We're talking everything from a desperate need for control to, well, a touch of existential dread. Trust me, this goes way, way deeper than you think.
So let's start with our very first clue, and honestly, it's a big one. For a lot of people, this whole thing boils down to a really fundamental human need, the need to feel like you are in control of your own life. Now, this goes way beyond just being shy. Psychologists actually have a term for it: spotlight effect anxiety. It's that cringy, intense feeling of discomfort when you're suddenly the center of everyone's attention. I mean, think about what a birthday party really is, right? Other people decide the plan, they pick the gifts, they sing that song while you just have to sit there and smile. All the control is completely taken away from you. You're no longer the author of your day, you're just a passive character in your own story. And this, right here, perfectly illustrates that core conflict. For people who have high autonomy needs, the ones who really believe they shape their own destiny, being a passenger on their own birthday can feel like actual psychological torture. They would much rather be the pilot, in total control of a normal day, than be a passive passenger on a so-called special one. Okay, so let's move on to our next clue and see how this all connects. Sometimes ignoring a birthday isn't about the present moment at all. It's actually about protecting yourself from the ghosts of birthdays past. See, our brains are basically prediction machines. You imagine this absolutely perfect, magical day, but then reality hits. The cake gets forgotten, a bunch of friends cancel last minute, and when what actually happens doesn't match our mental simulation, the brain logs it as a prediction error. And that feels really, really bad. So what does your brain learn to do? Well, it learns to just shut down the prediction machine entirely. And here's the crucial part. This is a highly strategic defense mechanism. Think about it. If you just treat your birthday like any other normal day, you literally can't be disappointed. If you never set up the game in the first place, you can't lose. It's not apathy. It's a super clever emotional insurance policy that you've learned from past letdowns. All right, let's just take a breath here for a second, because now we're about to get into the really complex subconscious stuff. This is where our whole investigation, it takes a bit of a darker and honestly more fascinating turn. Just let that sink in for a second, because when you strip it all down, a birthday isn't just a party, it's a counter. Every single year, you are marking the passage of time, 1 year closer to the inevitable end. Now, most of us are pretty good at burying that thought under a pile of cake and candles, but for some people, that existential anxiety is very, very real. There's this amazing concept in psychology that explains this perfectly. It's called terror management theory. The basic idea is that we humans are uniquely aware that, yep, we're going to die. And that awareness creates this sort of low-level hum of anxiety in the background of our lives. A birthday is like an annual, totally unavoidable alarm bell, reminding us that the clock's ticking. Some people cope by partying even harder, trying to outrun the clock. But others, they cope through quiet avoidance. By treating the day as normal, they're subconsciously trying to hit the snooze button on that existential alarm. And now for a total wild card. Get this. Some of the people who ignore their birthdays the most are actually the ones who care the most. They have such a perfect, beautiful, Pinterest-worthy vision of their birthday in their head that the real world could never, ever possibly live up to it. It's like having a novel in your head that's so perfect, you never actually write it down. So what do? They do nothing, just to protect the fantasy. The incredible researcher Dr. Brené Brown has a fantastic term for this: foreboding joy. It's this deep-seated fear that if you let yourself feel true joy, you're just setting yourself up for the inevitable crash. So from the outside, it looks like they don't care, but on the inside, they care so much it paralyzes them. So far, we've been really focused on individual psychology, right? But now we need to kind of zoom out, because the answer isn't always personal. Sometimes it's all about the cultural software we're all running in the background. In a lot of Western individualistic cultures like the US, birthdays are basically the Super Bowl of personal validation. But that is not a universal rule at all. In many collectivist cultures, the focus is much more on the family and the community, not on making one single person feel special for a day. So if you grew up in an environment where birthdays just weren't a big deal, then treating them casually isn't avoidance. It's just normal.
Okay, but what if we've been looking at this entire thing all wrong? Seriously, prepare yourself because this might be the biggest twist in the whole case. What if treating your birthday like just another day isn't a sign of a problem at all, but actually a sign of profound psychological health? Just look at this comparison for a second. True, authentic self-worth comes from the inside, from internal validation, not from external celebration. People with a really secure sense of self-worth don't need a special day to feel valued, because guess what? They feel valued every single day. In fact, needing a huge birthday bash can sometimes be a way to compensate for not feeling very special the other 364 days of the year.
And this is the final reveal. For these people, a birthday is nice, sure, but it doesn't define their worth. They already know their value. They aren't performing indifference to protect themselves. They are genuinely, authentically content.
So, after exploring all these different clues, from control and fear to culture and contentment, what's the final verdict? Why does someone ignore their birthday? Well, the simple answer is it's complicated. So, what's the real reason? Well, there's no single answer. It could be that deep-seated need to be the pilot of their own life. It could be a clever insurance policy against disappointment. It might be that subconscious mortality anxiety, or being paralyzed by impossibly high standards. Or it could be simple cultural programming. Or, in what I think is a beautiful twist, it could be a sign of authentic, rock-solid self-worth.
So, I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time a friend or a coworker just casually mentions it's their birthday with a shrug, maybe don't just assume they're being strange or difficult. They might just be navigating the incredibly complex psychological maze of being human in a way that feels safest and most authentic to them. And you know what? That is perfectly okay.